Hey everybody, Bob Babbitt here. Welcome to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona, a PTO 2020 championship. Brought to you by Captiva Spine, by John Hall Chevrolet, USA Triathlon, Foundation Risk Partners, and the PTO, the Pro Triathletes Organization. Our next guest, he's ranked number 1 in the ITU world, and he is a wildcard entry here for his longest ever triathlon, Mr. Vincent Luis. Vincent, how are you? It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm really good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor. I watch all your shows and I really enjoy it every time my wife comes and you have all these guests. It's a really nice show to watch, and yeah, thank you for having me. Really an honor.
Well, thank you, Vincent. And so talk a little bit about growing up and getting into this sport. When did triathlon come into your life?
So first, I started swimming when I was 6. My parents were used to go on holidays in Portugal around the sea, and I guess they didn't want to really have to look after me, and they wanted me to know how to swim and escape the waves. So yes. Basically at 6, they just dropped me inside the communal pool, and I had to learn myself. And I just kept swimming until I was 14, 15, and getting better, podium at nationals and everything. And I don't know. I just got bored when I was 14 and 15, and
it's
my parents.
Black line. Who wants to look at that all
it's
time?
just. And my parents were runners, marathon runners, and I was used to go a bit with them, doing like the local races and all this stuff. And I don't know. For me, triathlon was just so much more fun.
Yes.
And I just started when I was 15, 16. Bit of running, bit of biking, getting into the federal program, and now 15 years later, here I am.
15 years later. Yeah. And when did you get to the point where you were thinking, gosh, I think I could be really good at this?
I think that was a double ways, because my dad helped me a bit.
Yeah.
After I graduate when I was 18, I got 2 choices, either going to uni or trying and putting all my efforts into being professional. And basically my dad told me, okay, I don't remember, it was maybe 6 grants for your studies, and you can get them, and you can either go to the uni or rent an apartment and do your job. And I pick a nice place and just start training like a maniac, and I guess I did the right choice and never sit anymore on a chain at uni or whatever.
Was the goal to get to the Olympics? Was that something that's...
Yeah, honestly, the Olympics are my daily motivation. I remember watching 2004 Athens, and I still remember this finish, incredible finish, and that was it. I just wanted to race the Olympics, these fast and furious races, and I grew up dreaming of an Olympic medal, and I'm still dreaming of it.
And then you go to London.
Yeah, I went to London 2012. I was pretty young. I think I was 21 or something.
What was that experience like? Because I was in London for the Paralympics. I didn't go for the regular Olympics, but the crowds were crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. When you're racing somewhere where the 2 favorites are locals, it's something really crazy, and that's kind of why I want to push until Paris 2024 also.
Yes. Well, that makes perfect sense, yeah.
But back to London, that was crazy in 2 ways. First Olympic for sure, and also I get to race with my good friend Laurent Vidal that passed away 5 years ago, and so that's a big memory I have from him, and it taught me a lot. And I'm still having his little voice sometimes during racing talking to me. So that's a great memory. And
what's he telling you during races?
I remember the first World Series podium I had. Just before starting, he was already on the sideline because of his heart problem, and he told me they're not stronger. And he was talking about the brothers, obviously.
Right.
And Ravi Gomez and all these top guys ranked in ITU. And he told me, Vince, they're not stronger. And now every time I'm racing, and I got this feeling of, wow, it's getting hard. And I remember that. No, they're not stronger. And he was right. I mean, this year I won all the races I start so far. So yeah, he was kind of right, I guess.
And you finished the last couple of years ranked, number 1 in the world champion. That's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I got to get a lot of credits to my training group and my coach Joel Field. We got an amazing training group. I got amazing training partners with Mario Mola, 3-time world champion.
Yes.
Jake Burswissel, Martin Van Riel, Jelle Gins, all these guys around me. They're pushing me every day. They're helping me getting out of the door, out of my bed every day, and motivates me a lot for training. So I got to give them a lot of credits, because I think without them, I would still be ranked at maybe 10th or 12th. But now I'm on the top of the
You're on the top
of the podium, and it's a good situation, and you want to keep it.
So 2016, you go to Rio, your second Olympics.
Yeah.
Now, usually when you go to your first Olympics and you're young, it's like, okay, I'm going to just tour, find out what this is about, go to opening ceremonies, closing, doing everything, because who knows if I'll ever be back. Second time, you're there to win, to do well.
Yeah, I had a pretty good 2015 season and qualified quite easy for the Olympics. I was a really smooth path to get a medal at least, and I was really, like, I felt strong.
Yes.
And I had a great winter. I raced national cross country, finishing second, and I was going for it. And then, you know, I think the main thing about Olympics for whoever hasn't raced yet, it's a race. It's swim, bike, run. You race the same people, so you just have to do what you know to do.
Right.
And I don't know, I wanted to do something different, training harder, training longer, training whatever different. And that was a mistake. I got injured, got stress fracture on my left ankle, kept running because the Olympics were coming. Get another stress fracture on the right ankle, and 6 weeks before the Olympics, I was just in a wheelchair, just waiting for being able to walk. And but you can't say it. You can't say it to your sponsors. You can't say it to anyone. So I just showed up at the Olympics, raced the race, ended up 7th. And just
you still ended up 7th.
Yeah,
you were in a wheelchair not long before, and with double stress fractures.
Yeah, that was quite crazy. But then I crossed the line, and I was done for the next 5 or 6 months. I had to heal everything.
Yes.
And I took I was almost going for quitting triathlon after that.
Really?
Yeah, that was a tough moment, you know, because
you were there to win.
Yeah, you're here to win. You cross the line, and you're just like, wow, all of this for that.
Right.
For seventh place. It's like, I mean, all of your friends are like, oh, mate, you finished 7th at the Olympics. It's awesome, but no.
Not
like at the Olympics,
when you want to be on the podium and
4
you
for
want to win.
20 at the Olympics is the same.
Right.
You win or you lose. That's the game. That's how it works. And so I was just like, oh, I'm gonna quit this thing. But first, I had to heal my ankles, and I just took time and enjoyed my friends. And I decided to go to Kenya for a camp.
Oh, did you go to running camp in Kenya?
Yeah, and that was
that turned your life around.
I think that's why it saved me from quitting.
You saw how pure it was.
And how lucky I was. Like, just being able to do my sport, to have a living from this and everything. It's like, this guy, they have to work barefoot 5K to get just water.
Yes.
So it was just like big hit in the face saying, go back home, go back to work and do your job.
Right.
And that was the best decision I've ever made. So I spent 5 weeks in the E10 in 2,500 meters elevation, getting dropped by 15-year-old girl on easy runs and all this stuff. You know, it puts you back where you belong.
What's fascinating about that, I've had friends who went to run over there, and they would say the thing you learn the most is what recovery really is. Because when you're in Kenya, when you're home, you think, I'm going grocery shopping, I'm relaxing, this is recovery. When you're in Kenya and you're running 2 or 3 times a day, when you're not running, you are laying down. You're sitting on a rock looking at the sky. That's recovery.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was living the Kenyan way, you know, on 20 square meters, like they call it a room, but I would call it a cell.
Yes,
with just one bulb light at the top, and you're just waiting for the next training. And that's it. And you learn a lot from that. No TV, no Wi-Fi, no distraction. You know, there is no Strava in Kenya. There's just you, your legs, and you're running. And yeah, it teaches you humility, I guess.
Yeah. And so when did you feel that you were back? When you came back home, you were a different person.
Yeah, that's it. And not only sport-wise, you know.
Right.
Just like on daily basis, like turning the lights off, taking care of the planet, of electricity, or everything. It's just changed your vision of everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that was my biggest. I made my biggest mistake before the Olympics, and I think I made my wiser choice after. So
the other thing that's fascinating, I remember interviewing Frank Shorter, who won the Olympic gold in 1972, and he said the biggest mistake people make is they go to Olympics and try to do something different than they've done before. He says, you look at the people who win the marathon or whatever, they're running a time they've run before. They're not setting a world record most of the time. Mm. And that's what you learned from that Olympic experience. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, if you just show up and you do what you know to do,
yes,
you're going to win.
No surprises.
So yeah, there is no, I'm always saying in endurance sports, there's no magic. There's no magic. There is surprises, good surprise, but
yes.
no magic.
So talk a little bit about this experience that's coming up. This is the long. You're usually racing less than 2 hours, and now you're racing something that's going to be a little bit more than that. And it's like a 1.2 mile, and there's about close to a 50-mile bike ride, an 11-mile run, and there's $1.15 million on the line. Pretty excited. And you're racing people, a lot of them you've never raced before.
Yeah, that's it's like a box of chocolate, you know. You don't know what you're gonna pick.
Forrest Gump, I like it.
No, I'm just super excited about racing. Like just a new distance, new people, you know, all this new stuff, new bike, new helmet, all these new things. It's just like, you know, it's just a different sport. You're just like doing something different. And after a year like this, I mean, I'm first of all, I'm really grateful that PTO gave me this workout and allowed me to race. I think that I can thank them enough for that, giving me the opportunity of racing one more time, racing here in the US, and having this amazing prize purse. I think that's the main subject of all of this is we can race. So I cannot turn this offer down, and I want to race. I want to race this guy. I want to see what I can do against them and all of this, and if I have the guts to race them until the finish line. So that's the good thing. It's a special format. It's not even an half Ironman, but it's not as short as what I'm used to race.
Right.
TT bike, all this different stuff, and I just want to have fun. You know, that's how I live. I live on daily basis, just having fun. I'm used to say when I wake up in the morning, my biggest worry is what type of coffee I'm gonna have, and I want to keep it like this. You know, I just wanna race. I have no tactic. I'm just gonna race with my guts as I usually do, and it happens what's gonna happen. And if a long distance guy wins, good for him. He was the best.
He's gonna earn it.
Yeah, it was the best, and that's what we like with triathlon. You know, I got a lot of debate about setting world records. I'm against world records in triathlon because in triathlon you win or you lose. Doesn't matter the time you set.
Times really don't.
I mean,
the only place where time matters is in Kona because of all the history, right?
That's the
but
thing.
Other than that, most of the other races, the times don't matter.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even know. Like Sunday, people will maybe win in 3 hours 05, 3 hours 15, 3 hours 17. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
It's gonna win.
What's fascinating to me is you finally get a TT bike, right? You get a brand new Shiv, and it's at the bike shop, and what happens?
Yeah, my bike got stolen actually. Yeah.
And have you ridden it yet?
No, that was a crazy thing. Like I just got the new bike, the mechanic built it and everything, and I was just showing up at the shop, taking a nice picture and everything, saying thank you to the shop, and they still have to fix something on the aero bars. So I was like, okay, keep it for the day, and I grab it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I show up the next day, and the roof was wide open, and they just like fish my bike with a hook.
So somebody like went in through the roof and got a hook of some sort and pulled your bike out.
Exactly.
Gone.
So the bike was gone.
Before you even rode it.
Yeah, never rode it.
And when you called, that's a tough call. Calling Specialized.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, by the way, that new bike, it's gone.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, I got a problem. My bike got stolen. I'm like, we just sent you the bike like 2 days ago. I'm like, yeah, it's gone already. I was like, Vincent. I'm like, no, I did not go to the pub, like lock my bike in front of the pub. That's not this story. They opened the roof of the shop and they like fished the bike. They're like, wow, crazy. Okay, we'll send you a new bike. So yeah, that's super cool that I got good sponsors and they're really helpful. But yeah, someone is riding a Shiv around. I don't even know if he knows how to brake or how to shift with this bike. But if you see someone a bit clumsy on a Shiv, it's
your bike.
Possibly mine.
Probably your name's on there too.
Yeah, there is my name on it for sure. So.
That is the best. So, have you spent much time on it? Now your new one that they didn't steal?
Yeah. I spend quite a lot of time. You know, I don't want it to show up at this race and not being ready to race.
Of course not. No.
So yeah, I spent quite a lot of time. It was a bit sketchy before the last World Cups. You know, I wanted to ride my Shiv as much as I can. So I was just riding the Shiv every day, and for race day, like Valencia World Cup, I just rode my road bike for the first time the day before the race, and then shifting again to the Shiv on Monday. So that was
and
quite.
You're liking it?
Yeah, that's good. That's fast. These things are fast. But I got a big hill coming back home. It's 1K at 10%, and I prefer my road bike to getting back home.
So you're living in Girona, and Girona right now is the capital of endurance, right? You got Jan Frodeno there. You got Tour de France guys there. Do you see some of the other guys? Yeah.
I'm actually not living that far from Jan. So, and we swim basically at the same time. So we see each other a lot, and we like the same thing. I mean, coffees mostly. So we see each other a lot at the coffee shop. But yeah, we see all the guy from EF, the cycling team. I saw Wood van Aert. He passed me one day. Incredible.
Passed you?
Yeah, incredible. This guy.
You knew right away who it was.
Yeah. No, there is no doubt. Huh?
He didn't have a newspaper on the back, and he wasn't riding flip-flops. He just,
yeah.
He's a real guy.
No. This guy is like, I mean, he's one of the best rider in the world. So for sure, he's gonna pass you, whatever you do. And yeah, there's a few guys, a few good riders. So it's just a small town, but I guess the medal ratio is quite high.
Yes, just a little bit. And so we've got Tokyo coming up. And that's the goal. And Tokyo and then Paris.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Tokyo 2021 now.
Yes.
That's the goal. But as I said, I wanna keep it fun. And now the difference that I notice is that I got these 2 world titles. I got this World Series win, this World Cup wins, and if my career will end tomorrow, I would be still happy. That will be still, okay, I got a great career. I can look back and say, yeah, that was great. An Olympic medal would be the cherry on the cake for sure, but I'm not starving for it anymore.
Right.
I'm just going there and I'm gonna race this guy as hard as I can, and I'm gonna do everything I can for winning. But it's not the same feeling. I'm not putting my life on the line.
No.
So because I already have these things, these titles and these medals at home, I'm already proud and happy with what I did. But it's one more race that I have to do, and I have to do well. And obviously Tokyo is a big deal coming. We have also a strong mixed team relay with the French.
Right.
But Paris 2024 definitely. They asked me to design the bike course and everything, so I'm gonna make it tough for sure. And
you get to help design the bike course.
Yeah,
I like it.
So that's gonna be a nice race. Believe me, it's gonna be a nice race. All the French people are gonna be there to welcome you, and I hope they're gonna be cheer for people fighting for a medal.
Well, it's going to be fun about that. Talking to the Brownlee brothers, and they're talking about how the pressure kept building, right? The morning of the race, the BBC is broadcasting from the venue, and they're like, in a few hours, the Brownlee brothers will be bringing medals home, and they're like looking at each other, having their tea, going, we better not screw this up. That's a lot of pressure, your home country, but you have a little bit of Kenya in you now, so you know how to handle that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when we showed up in London in 2012, they had like their face on every bus in the city. They have like
billboards, everything.
Like massive advertisements in the street. Like they were, I remember they were advertising for Visa, the credit card, on the street with the Brownlee brothers.
Yes,
that was insane. But they delivered such a good race. Alistair was, I think, on top of his art, and he won. He was super strong that day, and I don't think anyone could have beat him.
No.
Nobody did. But racing on home soil is something pretty special. I did a few World Cups in French and Conti Cups, but for sure Olympics that's gonna be the big thing. But I want to be part of it. I think with the experience now, I can handle the pressure and all this stuff. I also got a good team around me with my agent and everything that can help me about like media and stuff that I have to deal with. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. Like I can't wait to race on home soil for sure.
You're the best. Vincent, such a pleasure to get to meet you. Congratulations on everything you've done. It's going to be so much fun watching you race out here this weekend.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Vincent Luis has been our guest again. Breakfast with Bob, Challenge Daytona PTO 2020 Championship. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back.